one of the things that I've come across and realized was that if we want to understand reality, understand truth, understand what is all this, what is this, then the only benchmark that is really reliable and one that you can really use is experience, is your own experience. If you experience it within and you see that that's what it is, then that's the one that you can like bet on it. Not beliefs, not concepts, not theories, not understanding. Even if the idea or the model sounds good or it's appealing to you, it's still not real unless it's your experience. And if it's your experience, then that's it. And so I had this little bit of an aha moment through recently studying so many things, but this experience of who I am, that experience of the inner awareness was so real and so just right there that I mean, for the first time, I could claim something as my own. And it's not something that's unique to me. I mean, you can claim it as your own just as readily and just as easily. But this, everything I've learned or heard and understood so far, and most of us have done SSY and know all that knowledge. So I actually want you to like suspend that part of your knowledge and background for a while so that you can go directly to experience. So even though a lot of those things, what I've read, what I've heard, resonated with me, it made sense to me, and it was like, yes, I would like to, learn more of that or be more of that. It was always still something that was coming from outside. It was still something that Guruji said, something that Osho said, something that the Gita said, and something that my friend said. But with this, it was something where I said, this is me, this is mine, there is no need for authentication, validation, approval, or anything, because it's just there, I feel it, I know it as deeply and as profoundly as anything that I will ever know. That deep knowing just kind of, and the beautiful part of it was that it was not something unique, it was not something exotic, it wasn't something, oh my God, far out, like you need, to be some kind of an evolved, enlightened person to experience this. And I said, oh my God, this is right there, right here, available. And we've just been kind of, we know about it, but we've been ignoring it and trying to find our way, find a path, move forward, go somewhere. And so that's kind of what's been keeping me really excited and awake and reading and learning and listening and being in this state as often as I can. I mean, it was for the first time I think that I can remember, even though I'm a teacher of meditation and whatnot, it was the first time I really looked forward to that inquiry, that meditation. I mean, look forward to it like like you look forward to meeting a lover or a close friend. That kind of excitement, a butterfly. I'm like, oh, I'm going to experience or think about this again in a half an hour or 1 hour. I'm like, yes. So so meditation has always been something we should do, we can do, because we need to grow, we want to make the world a better place, and blah 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 blah. And that's why we need to meditate, because I want to become a better person, and I want to. But with this understanding, it's like, oh my God,
this is grace.
It's
grace.
Yeah, it's grace in a way, sure. It's grace of what though? Grace of
Only efforts are
could be. Yeah, I mean, it's always in the traditional, whether you read about Mahavir or Buddha, the moment of enlightenment was just like that. Oh yes, of course. And whereas to get to that point could have taken, long and circuitous and difficult and whatnot kind of paths.
Which you already took.
which you already kind of took, maybe. I
which
mean,
we all have taken.
which we already have
home,
taken.
It was there.
It's already there. It was always there. And why
Because
were we
never
not?
look for it in the ordinary things now. Every time we want something special in our life, we look at the extraordinary part.
It's extraordinary.
The ordinary things don't appeal to us.
It's never enough.
Correct.
No, it's not that it doesn't appeal only. So actually, reality
You
is
go and
the
look
ordinary.
for, you always go
No,
on
no.
looking for more deeper.
It
that's
happened with
why-
an understanding, which the understanding of Advaita. It's interesting because we've read about Advaita and non-duality and all that for years. It's part of our culture. It's part of everything that our spiritual literature talks about. But what has happened in the recent, couple of decades or so, is that Advaita and Tantric Advaita especially has gone from the Himalayas to the Alps. Okay, because the guys in the Alps came to the Himalayas, which you and I didn't bother to do, but those guys actually went there and sat down with these masters and learned what this whole thing is and took it back and are now expressing it in a language and in a forum and in a way that makes sense to me. I mean, I could read or hear Tattvamasi or Aham Brahmasmi and I'm like, okay, but when somebody says, what is this awareness? That makes a lot more sense to me than Tattvamasi. So it's being put into new terms, it's being put into new terminology and new words, which makes it so directly accessible to everyone, like us, at our kind of understanding and stage in life, where it's so readily accessible that I'm like, oh my God. So that's what I wanted to share with everyone. And so if you, and here's one other thing, sort of caveat I want to put forward, that a lot of the things I will say, you may want to put it into SSY terminology, and oh yeah, this is this, oh yeah, this is this, and I would invite you to not do that for the time being. Just suspend it for now.
Suspend all knowledge.
Suspend all previous knowledge for now and
Previous
just look at
knowledge.
this as it is, because and not because it's not true. Whatever we've learned in SSY, this is that also, but it's in terms that will appear as something different, something else from outside, and it's a deepening of that. It's not really something else. So yes, it is SSY knowledge also, so just put it aside, but it's a deepening and an exploration to a point where SSY didn't necessarily go. What I simultaneously realized with whatever I understood and what I realized is that it's true for everyone. It's not unique, it's not personal,
Difficult.
it's not difficult. It's not difficult, damn it. It's not difficult, it's right there.
To be there.
To be that. To be that. To be that.
Yeah.
And to see that I am already that, already, always. And not just I am as in I am, but I am.
And
You are,
also
you are.
just
Yeah.
that conditionality,
yeah.
which is also in all of us.
Correct.
It's not only you, it's all of us.
Yeah.
We've experienced that.
Absolutely.
And-
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That
Kind
Yeah.
veil lifted.
Yeah, the veil lifted. It's so beautiful and it's so easy. So, for example, I mean, I'm going to ask you a question, which, let's just do that, and I'll talk more about what that is. So, I'm going to ask you a question and raise my hand, and I want you to not answer until I put my hand down. So, I'll ask a question, raise my hand, just be with that question. I'll put my hand down, then you respond,
Then do we raise our hand one by one?
if you wish. Or I mean, you can, or you can just say it as you see fit. So it's a very short answer. So everyone can just say it. So, are you aware?
Not all the time.
Yes,
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
I am.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
I am. So, the place where you looked for this answer of I am aware, are you aware, Where was that place? Where did you check? Did you check with memories? Did you check with thoughts? Did you check with opinions? Did you check with your body? Did you check with your... Where did you look? You looked somewhere before you answered that question. Whether you answered yes or no, doesn't matter. Even to know that you're not aware, it's interesting. Even to know that you're not aware, you need to have been aware that I'm not aware. So, you understand? So where did you look to see that you are aware or not aware? There was some place where you checked, right? And you are sure of it. So that's the other thing. You're sure, right? When you say I'm aware or not aware, not as a, I'm asking it kind of rhetorically. So there was a place where you looked, and it was not in beliefs, it was not a book, it was not a thought, it was not a body sensation. There was somewhere you looked to see, am I aware? Now this certainty of whether you are aware or not aware, because that certainty which you have, sometimes I'm aware, sometimes I'm not aware, you're sure about that. So that certainty that you have, that place where you looked, that place is that place of beauty, that place of joyousness, that place of love, that place which is always already there and available and present. And you may call it what you will. So, so there are, I guess in, three kind of broad places where we can identify where we are, where you are, where I am today. So the normal, usual place of the world. And by the way, this question of are you aware, the answer comes with certainty, and it would come with certainty from, probably you could stop a person on the street, out of the 7 billion people, you'll get an answer. Are you aware? And the answer is, that awareness is there, it's present. Even when you're not aware, that awareness is there, that I'm not aware. So it's universal. It's absolutely, it's not cultural, it's not, national, it's not Hindu, religious, nothing. That awareness is a common, obvious, present condition of all of us. That awareness is just there, it's so obvious. So, what is this awareness? Because that's an experience. It's not a thought. It's not a belief. If I were to ask you how sure of you are of that answer, when you said yes or no or sometimes, how sure are you? I am aware. And if you look, it's probably the only certain thing that you can bet your life on. I'm aware. I mean, you may question everything. I may question whether anything exists. I may question my own body. I may question whether this is real, whether this is just something, a dream in my mind. I may question the Gita. I may question the legal system. I may question anything. But this I cannot question, because it is a direct, immediate experience that you can know for sure. There is no doubt in your mind that you are, that I am. So this is what is, the way this whole Advaita is coming back to us, is to look and understand what this is and go through the process and understand how this plays out and can play out in our life. So there are fundamentally 3 stages of this evolution, if you will, of this understanding, where most people are in one of these 3 places. So the first is where you see yourself as a separate entity, this person, this body, this, and then everything else. There's the self and the other world, the other objects, the other people, the world out there. So separate. And I am this, and mind, world, body, thoughts, everything is something else out there. So if you want to understand reality, then the real question to look at and examine is the validity of this position, that I am this separate self who is going around in this world with this separate little body and doing this and doing that. So I want to examine that at an experiential level, so that we can see the reality of this for ourselves. So that outside world, if you want to, if you want to see what it is made of, it's mind, world, mind, body, and world, right? I mean, three broad categories. There's this mind where we have thoughts, feelings, sensations, right? And then there is this body which we consider as mine, my thoughts, my feelings, my emotions, my body, my house, my physical, and then the world. All the way from the galaxies and the stars, all the way down to, this juice right here. That's three separate things that exist. And so this is that assumption that we operate on generally. So I want us to explore this. How true is this? How valid is this assumption? And the only benchmark or test we want to make of this assumption is experience. Alright, so let's look at this one. What is all, when I say mind, which is thoughts, what is it really?